What's up, everybody? Welcome to South Beach Strategy. I'm Jake Kuza with my partner in arms, Alex from Privilege Media. Today we got a good friend of ours who, just to lay a little background for today's show, we just had Art Basel here in Miami. And if you know anything about Art Basel, it's a good opportunity for entrepreneurs to kind of mix their businesses in with art. And one of the hubs for that is Wynwood, which is where you're going to find the location for SÜRENITEA, which is owned by my boy Evan right here. Evan, thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate having you here. And I guess we got to start with the basics. Who's Evan?
So my name's Evan Kluge. Again, I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I see you guys doing pretty big things, so I'm excited to be a part of it. So my name's Evan Kluge, and when we're referring to the SÜRENITEA project, I've done a number of things in my life. But one, this is a very special project to me because this is a personal story of something that I dealt with, and it's helped me tremendously, and hopefully this is something that could help a lot of people, and it has been helping a lot of people. So basically, I'm in the alternative plant industry. So things that help you with your anxiety, with your pain, with your focus, with your immune system, with your gut health, with your brain health. So we've created a number of products that help with each one of those things. It's an alternative to things like Adderall, to things like energy drinks, alcohol, all these things that we're taking on a daily basis that really affects people. We have solutions for. People don't realize that 75% of Western medicine comes from plants. So all this medicine that we're coming out with in manufacturing can be done with plants. And once I knew that, I said, you know what, I'm going to take a deeper dive into it. And the reason why I did was I was a professional athlete, professional soccer player. I got into a really bad car accident, and I broke part of my neck and my lower back. And this was 15 years ago, and this is when they were handing out pain pills like it was candy and all this other stuff. And I realized within a few days what I was taking wasn't helping me. It was just delaying the fact that I wasn't fixing myself. So I went down this journey of finding different plants and alternatives that helped me through that process. And it's been a 15-year journey, and I felt SÜRENITEA was it was the right time to release SÜRENITEA and launch it, as people, after COVID started looking for alternatives. They started questioning everything that Big Pharma was doing, and they wanted natural alternatives, and that's what we do.
So I did some research on your product and on your business before we had the interview. I wanted to personally go down to your storefront and check it out. So without telling you, I went down there. And before a podcast that we had with one of your neighbors, Alex was there. He didn't get to go to SÜRENITEA like I did, but I walked in on my own, and I got to sit at the bar, and I ordered the best drink possible. And it was a great interview. We had a great show. I felt the focus. I felt energy. Super clean.
Yeah.
No jitters. Just kind of focused. I mean, it was one of the best episodes that we had shot because I felt just really dialed in, and between the cigar and a little whiskey presentation that we had, like I was feeling the vibe, So I know that you have the drinks at the bar, but the product also is the drops that you have here, right?
Yeah. So we have a multitude of different products, but the main product we have, and where we source the two main products, one comes from Southeast Asia, Indonesia. So it's ancient, Chinese medicine that's been around for thousands of years. There's a plant called Mitragina speciosa, and that's the plant that they used to give to samurais before war, before battle. And the reason why they would give it to samurais is it would calm your central nervous system down, which would naturally allow you to give you energy and focus without any jitters. So like when you drink a ton of caffeine, you get that boost, but then you get that crash. And some people their bodies just don't react well to it. This does all the benefits without any of the downside effects. It's just a matter of finding the right farms to work with. So we work with partnered farms. It took me years to get these farms that, I've created a partnership with, where essentially I buy everything that they grow, and we only use the top of the line products for our product line.
Did you go down there to source the products?
Yeah. So I went down to Southeast Asia about 2.5 years ago, and it was a crazy story. You ever see the movie American Gangster, when he goes into the jungle and he goes deep, and that's exactly how it was. I mean, nothing illegal here, but that's what it felt like. I literally had to fly to Indonesia, take another plane, take some horses, take a speedboat, and they brought me into these farms that were it was unbelievable to see what they're doing over there. And I said, I have to get this quality of product into the U.S. I was taking a similar product, but it's like, think of like wine. You have different generics. You have a $12 bottle of wine, and then you have your Petrus. And I wanted Petrus. I wanted the best quality of product that we could possibly offer to, the American people here in the U.S.
So do we have some of this product here?
Yeah. So
What we got?
these are my own proprietary formulations. So these are extracts, and I'll go one by one. So the white one is for the morning. So it's a brighter color for a reason. So you take that first thing in the morning. It's also amazing for a pre-workout. Then we have our middle of the day one where it's like, it's 4 or 5 o'clock. You still have some work to do. You drink a coffee, but you don't want to stay up for the whole night.
Right.
This allows you to stay up, feel focused, but be very calm, and allows you to go to sleep. And then we have we call it the Rosé, which is our muscle relief. It helps tremendously with muscle relief or pain relief. And it's amazing to take before you go to sleep or just at the end of the night just to chill. It's like having a couple glasses of wine. You just drop it under your tongue, and within 5 minutes, you just feel like a different person.
All right. Any of these things ready to go so we could try some right now?
Of course.
All right, let's do it.
Here.
So we got this one. This is the morning one.
Yeah, take the morning one. That's the one you had before your...
This is the one that I had before. They
Yeah.
redesigned the packaging. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to hallucinate.
No.
This isn't ayahuasca, right?
None of this is a psychoactive product.
Okay, so now we have the measurements.
Yeah.
25, 50. What's a dosage?
You could take 1 ml.
1 ml?
Yeah. And in that product, we also have lion's mane, cordyceps, and ashwagandha, so functional mushrooms that we formulate it with. But really what it comes down to is the quality and the way we process the product.
I'll try some of that.
It's a little bitter, but it's worth it. It gives you a nice look.
What's this gonna do again?
So you're going to feel, first of all, it's a natural mood enhancer, so your mood's going to be better, which I think everybody could use these days. It's going to make you feel sharper. It's going to make you feel more awake, but very calm at the same time. And there's going to be no jitters or no crash. And your brain is going to feel like it just turned on. This is a great alternative to Adderall, as a lot of people are dealing with the Adderall issues. They started getting on them when they were kids, and now they're struggling to get off because they can't sleep. It affects their mood. It affects their relationships. It affects their workplace, and they can't function without it. So we've actually been helping a lot of people transition off Adderall with this.
So there's no acid in here.
Zero.
I'm just kidding.
Zero. I mean, we can make that happen. But no, I'm kidding.
I have a supplement company.
Yeah.
And it's, the product is caffeine based.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how many people, until I came up with the supplement,
Yeah.
don't want to take caffeine. With all the benefits that it has,
Yeah.
even athletes were scared to take it.
Yeah.
And so this is a great option for somebody, like you said, who is scared of caffeine.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people out there like that. I didn't realize that because everybody I know drinks coffee. It wasn't until I tried to reach the masses that people have but they need something to help them focus.
But I think as a few years ago, people didn't know anything. Like, they're like, I want something else, but there was nothing out there to support that, right? Or to replace it with. So people continue to drink caffeine. Caffeine is something that affects the body tremendously because it gets your heart rate up and then it goes down. You get your heart rate up and it goes down. And that's when people start getting the jitters and the shakes. But they still need that kick. They're willing to take it because they need that morning boost or midday boost. Now it's our job as Serenity to bring to the market something that could help replace that, educate the people on what it is, because anything new to them is going to be something that, sounds like off the charts. It's wild.
So
This has been around for thousands of years.
So similar to a company like Red Bull, the main ingredient, is that from a plant as well?
I couldn't answer that, but I if I had to guess, no.
Okay.
Everything there is made in the lab, pretty much. And that's why a lot of people are, transitioning off of it. People are more in tune and have more access to information than ever before. With ChatGPT, with all these, even though I call them the online gurus who probably read off ChatGPT and then talk on, there's a lot of information out there and people have access to it. You can't fool the consumer anymore. Whereas before you threw all these different ingredients in a bottle and people just didn't know. Now they're looking at every ingredient. They want to know everything that's going in their body. That's why people have the whoops and the Oura rings. They want to track their sleep, their stress, their anxiety. So people are the consumer is very aware of different ingredients right now, which makes it even harder, which is good. It makes us step our game up.
Wellness was your background, or is this something you recently got into?
No, it's so I worked on Wall Street for 10 years. I ran a prop trading firm, and then I got into the cannabis business with my brother, and we run a very large privately owned cannabis business where we do everything from we own the farms, we grow the genetics, we're farming, the processing facilities, the manufacturing facilities to the end product. And being in that industry for a number of years, I realized you could actually manipulate plants and And manipulate doesn't always mean for the worse. It could be for the better, right? You could take the same plant and have 5 different ways of processing the plant, and it's 5 different products. And when I realized we could do that with the cannabis plant, this was a no-brainer for me. I'm like, now I could reach the masses. The market is just wildly big.
Wow.
Anyone who wants to get better or take something better, this is for them.
So what was your first real risk?
The real risk was getting the product here. It's like, how are you going to find a farm? How are you going to trust these people? You're going to send them $250,000, $500,000 to then bring you product in return. Is it going to be the same product that they sampled, that they sent to you as a sample? The risk is really the relationships with the farms. And not only just the relationship with the farms, it's the weather, it's the soil. There's so many risks there. And then actually getting it out of the country, out of Indonesia into the country, because they don't know what it is. So the risk there was massive. I definitely took some hits in the beginning, but as like anything else, you live and you learn and you build the right relationships. And now I have guys that work for Serenity in Indonesia. They work directly for me. So they're incentivized to make sure they go to the farms, they check it, they lab test it, and then it gets shipped over here. So, but I had to take some losses in that process.
Something that I noticed from going to the Serenity store, and you can see on the Instagram, is that it's a lifestyle and a community space.
Yeah.
We talked about some of the people I saw when we were there. What problem were you trying to solve when you came up with this? Because if you're already in the cannabis business, what made you want to jump into this?
Well, I personally have been taking these products for my own personal use for many years, and it helped me out tremendously. Like tremendous. I can't even explain to you. I was pushing people on this before I ever got in the business. I was like, when the product works and it works for you, and you want to see people around you that you could help, you tell them about the products. Mm-hmm. But then the next step was, it's not my product. So what can I do to make it better, right? If this stuff is coming from Indonesia and it's coming to the U.S., I pretty much figured out that it was probably not the best quality, right? So now I got to get the best quality. And if I'm going to push this on people, it's got to be something that I put my effort, my money, my reputation on the line for, because, when you put something in someone's body, it's pretty serious. You know what I mean? You can't, there's no in between there. And I was on a mission. It's just who I am. If I start something, if I believe in it, I'm gonna go until I get it done. I went through many pitfalls with this, many obstacles. The signs were all there for me to stop, but I just felt like it was too important.
So Evan, a lot of people. I know a lot of people that and this is an era where people like to do everything online. Why would you go brick and mortar and just say, you know what, I'm gonna go balls to the wall, get a store, let people into my store, give them a space? Why would you do that?
Because I'm crazy, number one. Because I'm out of my mind to open up a brick and mortar in Miami.
Why it's crazy to open up a store floor in Miami?
It is. Probably, I've dealt with many experiences in business. It was probably the most frustrating thing I've ever had to deal with. Everyone knows somebody, right? You're like, oh, it's going to be different. I know people in the city. I know this guy. I know that guy. It is the most frustrating experience I've ever dealt with, because the city is just not set up for. First of all, this was after COVID. So it was impossible to find a space, because everyone from all over the world was coming here with their concept. Miami was the spot, the number one spot in the world. Now you throw in there a concept that people don't know what it is. They're like, you're selling teas and drops. Like, how are you going to make money? So that was another obstacle. And have you done this before? No, I haven't done this before, but I've done X, Y, and Z before. Doesn't matter. Going through that process was a very, I had to be very patient, but also really, again, this is what we were talking about, really believe in what I was doing. If I didn't believe in it so much, and I'll tell you why I ended up doing brick and mortar. There's a million products online. People don't know the difference at this point. You need to get serious money behind it, or you have to have the right relationships with influencers, which I don't think is even going to work that much anymore, because I think people have been ripped off on so many different products. At this point, they're just kind of like over it. I looked at the store as my place to show people that they could physically drink these products, be in a social setting, and actually have a good time and feel good. And the only way to do that is to show people.
So I have a question. Let's bring it back really quick for South Beach Strategies. So you were in the cannabis industry, and within the cannabis industry, you learned about these plants and the benefits, and you said, you know what? Let me work this and this, and you started taking them, and you started to see the benefits that they gave to you, and you as a good person said, hey, I want to offer this to my friends.
Yeah.
And you did that, and maybe you saw some people say, hey, thanks so much, this was amazing. What was the South Beach strategy or turning point in your mind that you said, okay, I'm going to do brick and mortar. I'm going to open up my own store now because I want, like you said, a place where people can actually experience this.
Yeah. I mean, I made that decision. I always told myself I'm never getting into retail. It's not worth my time. You know, I could do something on a mass level, and by the time you get it open, it's 2 years, and by the time you get it moving, it's another year, and building up. But I had a long-term vision for this. I said, do you want to make money now, or do you want to make a difference long-term? And I decided at that point, it's a long-term game. I mean, anyone who's built anything big, it's long-term. You don't build something that quickly. As quick as it goes, quick as it comes, as quick as it goes. If you build the business right, and every person, every mentor that I've had that built massive companies, they all went through the same process. So I said, I'm 35 years old. Well, then I was 34. Now I'm 36. I'm still pretty young. It's good for me to I really believe in what I'm doing. And the brick and mortar it puts that stamp on us that we're real. You know, you put $600,000-$700,000 into a store. That's no joke, you know, and you're taking a risk there, right? And the time and the money and the frustration and whatever.
Permits
Was the killer. Permits was the number one killer. And I just said, you know what, that's going to be my marketing. Instead of posting online, we'll do that as well. People, come see us. Come get educated. Come try the product. We're here. We're not hiding. We're not hiding behind some screen and some AI agent. You want to come see us? Come talk to us and get the experience.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. You have a great product, and I like it a lot. But the main reason I wanted you here is because nobody tells a horror story like you do about opening a business in Miami, dog.
Yeah.
Nobody got that story down packed like you.
Nah, it was.
And when people tell you, man, you just open a store and you're good to go, what do you tell them?
Good luck. Good luck. I mean, look.
Walk us through the process of opening up a storefront in Miami with 600 racks.
Geez, well,
is that a lot or a little?
I mean, it depends what you're trying to do, right? We want it to be in a high traffic area, like Wynwood. I want it to be in a high-end building with other high-end brands, because now that kind of, you know, it makes us, you know, everyone gets elevated when they're around good
You're next to
businesses.
Sora.
Yeah, we're good
a
brands.
friend of ours.
Yeah, so Benny's next to us. He's taken multiple spaces, you know, from Aroma 360. The owner of the building, Robert Ravani, I'll give him credit because a lot of people didn't understand what we were trying to do. And he was like, I don't really understand what you're trying to do, but I believe in you, so let's do it.
He's the one doing Playboy on
Yes.
on Lincoln Road now.
And I went through my issues with him and his team, but it's all good. But, you know, they're the landlord and I'm the tenant, and things timeline-wise didn't go the way we wanted. We ended up taking over, what's it called? Salty Donut space. So Salty Donut is like the #1 donut retail brand.
Those donuts were good.
Yeah, they're doing crazy numbers out of this little store.
Yeah.
So I heard that they were moving in the same building into a space on the other side of the building, much bigger. And then not only did I take their space, I said, now I want to double the space.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up doing even more construction than I needed to. But it ended up being worth it. It's now worth it. But back then, I literally wanted to go jump in the ocean and not come out.
But why? You got the lease, you're ready, you're done. You open the doors to this.
Because I signed my lease before Salty actually left. And what I didn't, we gave them a timeline saying like, hey, if we don't get the space by this date, the lease is off. The problem is when you wait 6 months and then they're not out and they keep telling you next month, next week, we're going to be out. Salty didn't want to leave their space until their space was done. They were dealing with all the permits and all those issues as well. So not only was I dealing with my own permits, I was waiting on their permits. So that's what the frustrating part was. So I got delayed by 8 months. And then I only look for spaces with a grease trap. Even though we don't use a grease trap, it's required. If you serve any type of food or any type of drink, you need to have a grease trap in place. So I only look for spaces with grease traps.
Yeah, that
Because
grease
I
trap
wanted
is
to
a
avoid
nightmare,
that.
I heard.
It's $150,000.
And you had it?
I had but then they said it's not grandfathered in because you changed the wall. I moved one wall, and they said now you got to do it over again. So I had to go through this whole process. They wanted to spend $150,000. It was gonna be 10 months of permitting and construction and all this stuff.
But don't they approve the plans of what you're going to do prior to you doing it? Can they say, hey, stop, don't do that, you remove the grease trap?
get told 5 different things. And you go into their office, there's like 2 people in a building with 8 floors, and they're on lunch Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They have meetings from 10 a.m. to 2. It's honestly, it's one of the most insane things. For a city like Miami, who's building up something, they're literally putting people out of business before they get in. Or if they get open, they have such a short leeway that they burn through all their money that they end up closing. That's why you see all these closures.
So you signed the lease what day?
I signed the lease, let's just say I signed it December of 2023.
And you opened?
I opened, when did I open? I opened November of 2024.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, actually, I'm sorry. I signed my lease October of 2023. But I knew at least 5-6 months I wasn't going to get the space.
So a year pretty much, or more than a year.
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Your business is not open. You're paying rent?
Yeah. No, we worked some things out.
You worked some things out.
Yeah.
But you were under obligation.
I was spending money. I was burning through money every
So
month.
someone wants to open up a storefront. They need
Yeah.
to be ready in Wynwood for a high-priced square footage and be ready for a year and a half.
Whatever they think it's going to take, double it, and then double the money. Because that's what it's going to be.
And how do you overcome this when you were going through this? This must have been a lot of stress.
Oh, I was stressed out like crazy. You know, the other thing is like we know a lot of people in the city, and you want to start promoting it to try to build up momentum for the store and the brand. And then when it wasn't opening, every day people, when are you opening your store? When are you opening your store? And you're like, I'm dealing with the stress of not getting this business where I need it to be. I'm burning through money. I'm not making money through this process. And then you're getting asked every day, when are you going to open?
Yes.
When are you going to open?
And you lose momentum.
And you lose momentum, and it was just, I had to keep the momentum going. I was literally, I've been in business, multiple businesses. I was literally driving around selling bottles to keep the business moving.
Yes, I remember.
Literally driving,
Yes.
like delivering bottles to people, serving
Hand
them
to
to
hand.
people. Not only to get the money, but to keep the momentum.
So you switched it, and now your strategy is social media, and you're still running the business even though it's not in the store at that time.
Yeah, no, exactly. I didn't even have I barely had a social media. I was just like, I'm going to create such a good product. That was the main thing. I got to create such a good product that it speaks for itself. And then it actually works. If it works and it's a good product, people will then tell somebody, like, you tried it, and then you told this girl, and then another person, and hey, try this. Again, because when people have something that helps people, they want to share it. Mm-hmm. So I knew my main marketing in the beginning of building that foundation of my customers, I call them customers and friends, was to have a great product.
Yeah,
you don't have a good
the
product.
drink was really good. That drink that I had, a blue one,
Yeah.
that was really good. It was on point. I really walked out of there feeling really relaxed. And also having I don't know who the name of the bartender was that was there that day. What was her name?
Daria, probably.
Daria?
Yeah.
She's very nice. She explained to me everything that was in the product. She's the one that recommended that one. You know, 'cause I didn't know what the menu was loaded with stuff.
Yeah, you got to. It's a double-edged sword because you want to keep the menu simple for people, but you also have to put a lot of information on the menu so people understand what they're taking.
Yeah.
If Daria messed up and didn't tell you one thing, and somebody took something and said, "I didn't know that was in there," so that's the hardest thing. The most difficult thing is the education. Is educating people. I didn't open up a burger shop. Somebody walks by, they see a hamburger place. You don't have to educate them on what's in it, what they can replace things with, and that ultimately is the most difficult thing right now is the education and getting the word out. But we're doing very well, thank God. And but it's a 7-day. Like I work 7 days a week, 15 hours a day. If I'm not in the store, I'm doing pop-ups. I'm going to gyms, doing anything I have to do in order to get the brand out there and expedite the process because of the delay. It really put me in a tough position. Even now, like I'm still pushing because I got to make up for that time. And it's hard, the retail's tough. Retail's very tough. But we have such a unique concept that was the only way I was going to do retail. Mm-hmm. It had to be so unique and so out there that that's the only way I was going to take the risk.
And with Ruby Farms, it's soil to oil. So you guys have you farm it.
Yeah, we own the farms.
And is that something that you want to do with this product as well?
So this product is primarily grown in Southeast Asia, and I want to keep it there because that's where it comes from. That's where that's where it's grown.
Best quality.
That's their bread and butter.
So with Ruby Farms, you have the organic land, soil to oil. So why was owning the supply chain important to you there, and do you want to do that with SÜRENITEA?
That's a great question. I mean, it's a little differently because just the regulatory and state laws and the national laws, and it's just different. We wanted to control the whole supply chain. That was a big risk too, because it took us longer to get the business off the ground, where people were just buying it and flipping it into their own products. If you control the whole process, which again is an immense, it's a huge investment. It takes a lot of time. It's a big risk. But if you could control the whole process, in the long run, your margins will be bigger, and you don't have to worry about going to some farmer like, why don't I get my product? You know, this product, like, we control the whole process. So with this, it's a little bit more difficult because this product is grown in Southeast Asia. Like, this is their bread and butter. This is what they do. So for me, it's a risk, but it was a risk that I felt I was willing to take based on the relationships that I had and understanding their market. And it's just easier to deal with them. And you know what? It keeps the story. People love the story. People love getting products from outside of the country. And they love that, like, that ancient Chinese medicine.
No, and the story of you actually going there, checking it before you offer it to your consumers or clients. Me and Jay, we interview a lot of people that talk about NADs or wellness or bioengineered products. This is a whole nother beast. And I know right now, for example, people are not drinking as much. People are more into the workout, coffee and chill, day events. They don't want to get hammered or do drugs. They want to chill, catch a vibe, and work with products like this.
Yeah.
But it's funny you said that, because when I went to his store that day before the cigar shoot, they were smoking hookahs in his store.
Yeah.
So I kind of was up like, I texted him. I was like, yo, you do hookahs here too? Because I felt like that was a nice, healthy vibe, to be honest with you. It kind of fit the mold a little. I know it's not something that you
it's not something that I love, but we have the customers that come to us, they come every day. Our retention rate is crazy high. So like when I get a customer, we do them right and they like the product, they're not going anywhere else. So you start developing these relationships with them, and if someone's coming in there every single day and he's like, look, man, I want to smoke some hookah, we cater to that. We're here to make you feel better. We're here to serve you. That's how I look at this. Is what I tell my employees, like, we're here to make people's days better. Because when people walk in here, sometimes they're dealing with a lot of stress, they're dealing with anxiety, they got to focus on their job or get work done. We want to make it, we call it the second home, right? You have your first home, the third home, you have your office and your gym, and this is your third home. People come there, they have their meetings there, they come there to just relax and get a drink and take the edge off. The amazing thing about this product is it can replace alcohol as well. And people say, how does something replace alcohol that's so healthy? At the end of the day, you want to feel better, right? You want to have it. Why do you drink? You have a drink because you want to take the edge off. You want to just relax, and it makes you more social, right? Mm-hmm. It's a social thing. It's a social setting type drink. This does the same thing, but enhances your mood, and you feel great. And you don't have to worry about drinking and driving. You don't have to worry about the next day with a hangover, and you can sleep very well at night. So people are replacing this with a multitude of things.
No, that's why I look like a vibe, because I straight up would go in there and have one of these drinks and smoke a hookah there. Like, that could be an afternoon for me, no problem. Because I'd rather not drink.
Yeah.
I'd rather drink that. The effect was clean. It was good. The hookah, I'm pushing that on you. I just didn't know if there was some mushroom hookah or something that they were smoking.
Or wellness hookah, that's a
you
good
should
idea.
maybe look into that.
We're looking into like CBD hookahs and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's not something I really wanted to do. Yeah. But again,
you got to adapt, right?
It's not for me. Mm-hmm. It's for this is for the customers.
Right.
And our friends. They become our friends.
Right.
These are people that we see every single day.
That guy was lounged in there. Like, he was like, he looked like he owned the place. He was like 3 of his buddies. They had the hookah out there, and they had their laptops. Yeah. And I didn't know if they owned the place or what, because that's how posted up they were there, And I was smoking the hookah. It just had me like, okay, there's a vibe here, Yeah. And I was looking to see on the menu if I could find it. That's why I texted you and asked you, is there hookah here?
Yeah, no.
So I can come back and smoke it.
Yeah, we're here to serve.
You got to adapt, right?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, look, like, if I built the place for me, I'm building the place for everybody else. That's what I always tell people. When you start a business, you don't build it for you. Yes, your DNA is behind it. Your belief is behind it. Those type of things. But I'm here for you guys. And I think that's where people get messed up. They start doing everything they like.
And you kind of built it the way you would want it, where you go, so that when someone comes, they can have that same feeling and feel at home.
Yeah, exactly. And we want it to feel clean. We want it to feel classy. And from the minute they walk through the door, everything's important. From the minute that they walk through the door, we call them pharmacists, FARMA, not PH, the girls behind the bar. soon as someone walks in, you give them a smile, you say hello, make them feel comfortable, because when they walk in there, they're looking around like, what is this place? They don't know. So everything's important. The smell, the cleanliness, the way the place looks, the attitudes of the pharmacist behind the bar, the education. And it also, when you walk in there and you see people in business suits and people that are fit and wellness related, you feel more comfortable. You're like, okay, this is a place that I want to hang out. Because if it was dark, dingy, and I didn't give a shit about the build out, and I just said, you know what, I'm not going to put the money into that, it would have been a lot different of it. You could have the same drink and feel different.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
So we've done already like 30 interviews, and we're waiting for somebody to break the record. Are you from Miami?
No, I'm from New York.
We haven't interviewed one person from Miami yet.
Really?
Not one.
Well, I've been here for 20
Not
years.
one.
Yeah. Right, it doesn't count. You weren't born here, you know?
Born here,
We're
no.
waiting for the first Miami-born
No,
guy
I'm
here,
not
or
Miami
girl.
born. And
Nobody.
I'm very proud of it. I'm proud to be from New York.
So
I'm from
what do
New
you
York,
feel? What do you feel is different? Now we're in Miami. You know, we're in South Beach. What do you give us your take on the difference between New York and Miami? Where do you think people move faster?
I mean, people definitely move faster in New York. I would never have dealt with that issue with the build out and the city and the permits in New York. New York is more of, they back small businesses. They want to push businesses to get open because it's in their best interest. Whereas here, it almost like, it feels like every step of the way they're trying to chop your legs off. Honestly, I still don't understand how they haven't created something or have some AI situation where it just speeds up the process. Because a lot of this stuff is people just looking at sheets of paper, and you get 3 opinions from 3 different people. So New York, they move quicker. That's just in the DNA over there. Miami's catching up, but they have a lot of catching up to do. In New York, I always tell people they gotta, if you don't provide a good service or a good product, they have the chance to go, they could walk half a block away and go to another pizza shop. They can go half a block and go to another nail salon. So everybody is like on point there, because they know if they're not on point, you're losing the customer half a block down the street. So that's the difference. Is here it's a little bit different.
Yeah, 100% different. But that's why Francis got ripped at the forum. You didn't by Bezos.
I didn't hear that.
Oh no, they had a forum like 2 weeks ago, business forum here, a big one.
Ripped them.
And Bezos was talking with Francis, and he's like, I don't understand why Miami doesn't have an AI system, just like you just said.
My friend is creating one.
Yeah, he said,
for
I don't know
blueprints.
why the building permits are here are such a nightmare. You should have an AI system. People submit their stuff, and it tells you in 10 seconds what you're missing. Yeah. And Francis is like, oh, yeah, you're roasting me. You know what I mean? But he knew it's true because it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Everything has to do with money at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's like getting, if you got a loan at the bank, they tell you in 2 seconds what you need. Boom, 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 boom. Building the apartment and all these things should be fluent like that. It shouldn't be a nightmare because really, they're crushing the businesses out there. A lot of people we know, right?
Yeah, killing. I hear this story all the time, and before I got into it, I heard it. And, you always think like, oh, I can figure it out. And I ended up I was presented a lot of red tape, a lot of issues, and we did get through them, but I could see how people, their whole life savings, they go work another job and they save up to go open up this restaurant, or they want to open up their favorite nail salon, whatever. And they put all this money and time into it, and then they just get wiped out because of some issue with the city. Honestly, it's disgusting. And I feel terrible for a lot of people, and I have a different, now I have a different appreciation when people open up a restaurant or they open up anything, that they believe in or whatever, that I want to support it because I just know what it takes to get these things open. It's very, very difficult.
So if you had advice to give somebody who was going to decide to open up a storefront in Miami, what would be your number one advice?
You better really believe in what you're doing, and you better make sure that you're ready to go for a ride, because it's going to be a ride. And I would say don't open up anything unless it's unique, because there's so many different concepts. How many restaurants have been opening up great? Back in the day, there used to be 2 hot spots, right? And those hot spots would be good for 2 years. Now every week,
3
there's a new
months.
place.
And they last 3 months.
Yeah, they last 3 months.
The
And people get
saturation
bored.
is out of control.
It's nuts. Yeah.
What about someone specifically interested in the same industry that
And
you're
opening
in?
up.
But you think it's alternative? Would you consider this alternative
Look, if
medicine?
something helps your anxiety, it helps your pain, it helps your focus. Think about it. Think of all the different Western medicine products they give out. Things, anti-anxiety medication, pain medication, for your energy and your focus, like Adderall or Vyvanse. So I gotta be careful what I say.
Yes.
But if something naturally takes care of those things, I call it alternative medicine. I believe
Or
that it is.
supplement. What
Yeah.
about a supplement?
Yeah,
Would you call it a supplement? What is it more? A
I
supplement?
would say an alternative medicine. It's a plant.
It's
a
that,
plant.
that strong.
It's that strong.
Yeah.
And like the legalities
Oh,
are
you
crazy.
should definitely take this.
No, I took some. I actually feel
You
it
feel
a
it?
little
You
bit.
do,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It just turns your brain on a little bit. You, see
You took the
everybody
1
smiling.
ml?
I took 50.
You took 50?
But I also feel like a tingly,
Yeah.
like
We had
Because Evan had a strong ADHD, right? That's what it was that got you into this product?
no. I got into a car accident,
And that's how you started with the
and
product.
I started with this because
But it helped you focus.
it helped me with when I had 2 surgeries on my spine. So when you're not feeling great, you start getting anxiety because you just feel like shit. There's no other
you're
way to say
uneasy,
it.
yes.
You wake up and you feel like garbage, and it gets frustrating because it's something that's with you every single day, all day long. Headaches, lower back issues, hip issues, and you're a young guy who used to be super active, and I was an All-American.
Yeah, you
I
were
was
fit. Soccer,
top-
right?
Yeah, so I never experienced something like that. So it created a lot of anxiety in my life, and it just took a lot out of me. So by having these products, it just helped me calm down a little bit. It helped with the pain, helped with my anxiety, and just helped me really function on a daily basis. And I was very adamant about not taking anything like any pain pills or anything like that, because I knew that's just the dark hole you're going down and you're not coming out, or it's going to be very tough. And I always say if there's something mentally I could get over it. If it's something physical, then you have a problem. That's out of your control
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Right? When people get physically addicted to anything, it's a big problem. And I always say the difference between medicine and a drug is the dosaging. If you take the right amount of dosaging, you'll be fine. But you start doing a little bit more, now that's a drug. They say caffeine's a drug. If you
Yes.
drink over a certain amount of milligrams,
Right.
if you
For sure.
type into ChatGPT, what is the most used drug in the world? It's caffeine.
Caffeine.
Because after a certain amount of milligrams, now that's
Yeah.
not a
Medication.
abuse. Yeah.
yeah. That's a dependency.
We're going to go to the store. I'll take you.
Definitely.
And we'll go
Do you
to the
do
store.
any type of like retreats or like wellness?
So that's something we're going to get into next. I have a bigger vision for this. I want to open up more stores. I want to open up like a wellness center where everything relates to like the plants plus, healthy things like, yoga and Pilates. We do a lot of stuff in the store. We have a lot of events where it's like breathwork classes, yoga.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in.
Pilates.
Yeah.
And we incorporate the product into the activity so people now feel it, right? Or we do workouts, or we do ice baths, or we do all these different things. This is a wellness brand. So anything that we can incorporate, it makes sense for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to incorporate some of your background, like being a leader, your financial background, stuff like that. And what is a lesson? I know you've been around some good money people, bro. I know you know some
Yeah.
some financial
Yeah.
tricks for people. What's an advice you give for people that money taught you early on?
It comes and it goes fast. As fast as it comes, as fast as it goes. And really the number one thing is patience. Everybody these days, I know that sounds like a very broad, patience. You got to be patient. Everybody's looking to get rich quick. They got all these gurus, like home gurus online saying, hey, if you take my course for 30 days, I'm going to make you
love
$5
those
million.
guys, right?
I'm like, look, to each of their own. If they're making money off it, they're just ripping people off.
That's
Because
the Miami blueprint
Yeah.
now.
it's just it just takes, everything takes time. You got to build a foundation. You got to build the business. You got to build the products. You got to build the trust between you and the consumer. It takes time. And everybody that I've ever dealt with, and I have some serious partners and mentors and all these guys, they didn't get rich quick. I see them now, but they're in their 60s and their 50s. Like, Evan, I worked for 15 years before I built something like this up. Yes, can you make money along the way? Of course, we've done it. But long term is the only way.
Money comes, money goes.
Money comes, money goes.
So how do you stay disciplined? And I know the product helps, but as far as like what does Evan do to contain this discipline that he's had all his life? Fitness,
Yeah,
business.
yeah. I mean, there was times where I'm a very disciplined person, and there's times where I kind of went off just like other people, right? You start making a lot of money when you're young. You're going to the clubs. You're dropping 20 grand. You're doing crazy, stupid stuff, right? But I had to experience that to know that it was stupid, right? I have a lot of great memories from doing, having crazy nights and good relationships. Yes, if I could go back in time, would I take that money back and put it into something else? I would say take that money and invest it into something you believe in. And for someone like me, I want to control my own destiny. I don't want to invest in somebody else's project because something goes wrong, you have zero control. I want to control my own destiny. And if I go out my way, if it happens not to work, I could at least look at myself and say, I try, like, this is the way I wanted to do it with my own money, with my own hard-earned money, because there's a lot of scams out there. So you got to be really careful. And everyone's selling the dream. I always ask the negative questions. Okay, the positives are obvious. I want to know what the downsides are. So like when I worked on Wall Street for 9 years, we would look at deals all day. And I wasn't looking at the upsides. Of course, the upside's there. What is my downside risk? So that's how I always think when people are pitching me on a business idea or I'm looking to do something with them. It sounds negative, but I'm just ripping the thing apart because I want to know where my downside is. And that's important when you're looking at,
Well, you signed a lease and it took you a year and a half to get in the place. So you kind of have experience knowing that things aren't always as pretty as people paint them, you know?
No, they sold me something completely different. But it's like, then you're like, I'm 6 months in. I might as well just wait another month, and then another month. And then you kind of, that's the game. Like, when do you cut it loose or when do you stop? And I just said, this is too good to let go. If somebody else were to do this at a later date, I would have been livid. I wouldn't be able to live with myself because it's something that I knew I wanted to do. And I knew at some point, someone's going to do it. And I know once I start this, you're going to see other people try to do what I do. I already know of somebody that's trying to do exactly what I'm trying to do. Good luck.
Yes.
Takes time.
Yeah. What habits have not changed for you since, even with through those experiences that you have? What's the habit that you think that you've always consistently had that helped power you through?
I know this sounds like mental toughness. You need to be mentally tough. The world is a really difficult place. You deal with a lot of bad people. You deal with a lot of there's always going to be someone's always going to be testing you. So if you mentally stay strong and you believe in what you're doing, and when you look in the mirror at night, you could fool everybody else, but when you go to sleep at night, you lay your head on the pillow and you look at yourself while you're brushing your teeth, you know what's up. And as long as you know, do not listen to what other people were telling me, you're crazy, what are you doing? They didn't understand what I was trying to do. And what I realized is, not to put a lot of people down, but most of the people out there don't really have any vision and they don't have any belief in themselves. So what are they going to believe in you for?
Or they're not following their dream, they're following someone else's.
Exactly. And they just don't have, and again, there's people out there, like, if that's what they want, so be it. Good for you. God bless. But I'm not one of those people. I'm someone who's going to take risk, and I'm going to take, obviously, hopefully good risk. But believing in yourself and being mentally strong is the number one thing.
How lonely was it?
Oh, it gets lonely sometimes. This isn't my first time where it's gotten lonely,
It's deep, right?
When I was running my stock business, I wanted to do something a little differently, and my partner didn't want me to do it. And he thought it was major risk. And we were fighting about it for a little while, and I made more money off that than I did off our original business plan, right? So the risk is always there. I got kicked in the nuts a few times. Pretty good.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some quick rapid fire, and if Alex has some rapid fire, just real quick, boom.
Yeah.
What do you prefer, early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings.
Okay. Scale fast or slow and controlled? So scale fast or slow and controlled?
Yeah. It just depends on the timeline. In the beginning, slow, and then you got to pick up the pace. Once you build the foundation, then you pick up the pace.
Brick and mortar is?
Difficult. Very difficult. You got to get people to walk through that door every single day. That's the tough part. You have so many different options now. I'm not just competing with other alternative medicine brands. I'm competing with Kiki. I'm competing with The Boat. I'm competing with the Heat Games. I'm competing with the beach. So it's tough. It's a day in and a day out grind because it's not cheap.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Alex mentioned something and I wanted you to elaborate. You asked him about how he was doing the marketing, right?
Yeah, that was my next question. You just said, my next question was, now it's all about strategy. Not only do you have your store, you need to do TikTok, you need to do videos, wellness videos, you need to do product reviews, you need to do education about the plant that's in that product.
Yeah.
It's so much different levels, and it's not easy.
No, it's definitely not. And I told myself, like, I'm running this business by myself. Like, I'm doing everything. Like, the first couple months, I was behind the bar. People weren't showing up. I'm learning the business. I never ran a brick and mortar before. I never ran retail. So I was going through a learning curve. I'm going through it. I learned something new every day. So to answer your question, I needed to build, going back to what I said before, build the foundation first, right? Get people through the door, see what they like, what they don't like. And then, I'm hitting year 2 this month. So I've been open for 1 year. So I told myself, thank you. It's not easy. And I told myself the second year, now it's time to hit social media, hit TikTok. And I did it a little
That
bit.
organic
Yes.
pocket.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did organic. Everything was organic. Word of mouth, me getting in front of people, like true guerrilla marketing. But I also, being on the ground, I get to hear what people say. I get to talk to them. I get to see. Now, okay, if I do this marketing plan, this isn't going to work because I've been in the grit, like grinding. So now I think that will help me save money with the marketing and really focus on things that I know work on the mass levels with social media.
Alex's background is media for social marketing, and for products like yours, I would think social media would be huge.
Yeah, it's
is
big.
that where do you do marketing,
Yeah,
social
we're
media
starting
or
to,
Google?
No, we're starting to do all the. I mean, we did
Social media stuff.
Yeah, we're
Especially
doing
now.
testimonials, and we're also showing how it incorporates into your lifestyle. Like we show people taking it before they go to the gym or before they go into a meeting, or a mom who's got 3 kids and she's waking up and she's a stay-at-home mom and she's got to drop them off at school and she's stressed out. It helps everybody. A guy on Wall Street who's doing billion-dollar deals, an athlete who a lot of athletes are starting to take this stuff.
Training.
Yeah, they're taking it to train because it also creates a lot more oxygen in your body, which helps with recovery. This is all in a natural form. So getting it out to athletes, business people, moms, it's for everybody. And that's what excited me the most is there's no demographic where it doesn't make sense. Obviously over 18 to a certain age. But anyone who wants to be healthy, this works for.
Yeah, TikTok Shop is huge for that right now because people are telling stories and saying, hey, I got in a car accident and I didn't want to take Percocets, but now I'm taking this. And it's really just someone telling how it helped them. And those videos go viral.
They do. They help a lot. And
There you go. Alex just put you on some sauce right there,
No, we want to
Free
do
game.
real videos. I don't want anything. Like I have friends.
No,
who,
you need
they'll
real
tell me, "I'll promote it."
testimonials are the best.
They're like, I'll promote it for you.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
no,
like, no.
no.
And unless you really
You take it, If you're not taking it,
I don't want anything
Right,
fake.
organic,
I don't want anything fake or non-organic on my page.
Yeah.
Or associated with my brand.
Yeah, of course
All right.
not. Yeah,
Wrap
people
it-
know it's fake.
Yeah.
People know it's bullshit.
Yeah, they know.
It's got to be the story, like you said, the mom of the 3 kids there that needs it for the focus. Al with the production, he takes it before he does his production, and it helps him get through a shoot, and he feels calm and relaxed.
Well,
And
Sitting and
deals with
editing for
anxiety
8
now.
hours.
the coffee does get you jittery, and it
Yeah,
does put you in a.
Everyone's dealing with anxiety. You're on your phone all day. That creates a natural anxiety.
yeah.
You're looking at social media. You're on your phone. You're getting emails. Like, people have so much direct access to you that it creates this anxiety for everybody. And it's like this it just leeches on to you. So if we could get something that kind of takes that anxiety away naturally, it just allows you to function at a better rate.
So
I think so.
to you, Miami is.
It's a good question. Miami is, what do they say? Shady? No, I'm kidding.
Sunny State,
No, I'm
shady
kidding.
Sunny
people.
Sky,
I'm kidding.
shady
I'm kidding.
people.
I'm kidding. Look, Miami's a beautiful place. You just like anything else or anywhere, you got to be disciplined. In Miami, you have to be super disciplined, and you have to understand what's important. If you're trying to build a business, you need to stick to that. The parties aren't going anywhere. The boats aren't going anywhere. The girls aren't going anywhere. They will all be there. Like, I don't go back to places for 3 years. I walk in there. There's still the same people in there. So as long as you know you're not missing out on that, I'm not saying don't have fun. You gotta have fun. You gotta enjoy your life. Have some balance. But being disciplined is very important in Miami.
All right.
I think Miami, with all the distractions, is definitely the hardest place to open up a company.
Yeah.
And be successful. And I think if
Focus,
you make
yeah.
it here,
Yeah.
you can take it anywhere.
Yeah.
Because you're not dealing with the obstacles that we deal with here every single day. And
Yeah.
I know being in Wynwood, and I know the area, and I know Miami.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it through, and you're gonna power through, and you're gonna be able to look back, and you could replicate this anywhere in the world because you don't have the same obstacles.
Well, that's why I chose Miami, because I was thinking, do I do it in New York? You have Manhattan, obviously a lot more foot traffic. The opportunity there is a lot bigger. But if you look at Miami right now, if you create something special in Miami, every other state or country wants it, right? I got guys from Toronto that want to open up a SÜRENITEA. I have guys in Arizona that want to, because Miami is the spot, right? Miami is that place. So it's about, that's the benefit of it, right? And if you can make it here, you could pretty much make it anywhere. It wasn't like that so long ago because there wasn't so much competition.
New York had that title, but
Yeah.
after COVID, I feel like Miami took it.
They did.
But it's like you said, New York is. If you have money, you can make it in New York.
Yeah.
But you gotta be cool to make it in Miami.
you gotta be cool. You gotta have money. You gotta know the right people.
That's a whole nother thing.
And if you depend on, we were talking about this before we started. If you're depending on your friends
Yeah. No.
for your business, don't do it.
No.
Because I'm not calling any of my friends out. I love you all. But if my business plan was depending on my friends to support it and pay for things every day,
No.
we're done.
No, it doesn't work.
You're cooked.
No, yeah.
You're done.
Yeah,
before you think of-
your best allies are gonna be your online supporters. Everybody that's walked through here said the same thing.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. You ain't the only
Yeah,
one
yeah.
kind of calling people out. You know what I
No,
mean?
I just don't have my
it's
friends.
how it is.
Yeah.
And if it was reciprocal,
Yeah.
it would be great. But Miami has a problem where it's not reciprocal, which is the issue. We all just supported each other open freely, but that's
Everybody
just
wants
not.
free shit.
Yeah, they just want to they don't want to do. They want to. It seems like people are very focused on themselves and only themselves. I always try to repost my people, post them, tag them, go
Yeah.
there, even if it's once.
Yeah.
Like whatever I can do, any little contribution that I can do, because you can't help everybody.
No.
You know?
It costs
But
$0 to support your friends.
That's it.
I think it's also people are so engraved.
Yeah,
Again,
on
in
the-
their own thing. Like
Yeah, I don't want to
social
post
media.
that tea there. I don't
Yeah.
know whether if anybody
Yeah.
thinks this is
No, and
that
it's
might
okay.
look stupid, you
it's
know?
okay.
Yeah.
Actually, now maybe it's taking me a little longer because there's people that I know would have liked it, and people that we know that are influential people that could help grow the brand. And I see over time, I'm like, it's not me pushing it to them. They're naturally now people are telling them about it. You know what I mean? So people that we know, they're starting to come around because I was like, you know what? I'd rather be patient and not push it to all
takes
my
time.
friends.
Yeah.
But if you have a good product,
Yeah. It
they will
takes time.
come back around. You know.
It's also a good opportunity to tell people who have supported you throughout the years, who have been there for you, who are, man, they don't know you from the next guy, and they've been there to support. At least for me, I've had a lot of people in my life that I didn't grow up with them. I didn't go to school with them. I don't know them from anywhere but my businesses, and they've been nothing but supportive. They
Yeah.
always stuck it out, and I've never been able to really express how much gratitude I have towards those people that have actually been there for us and allowed us to be where we are 20 years later, you know? So I know where you're coming from because you always wanted to be your friends, but,
Yeah.
you know, unfortunately, that's not how it works, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I've learned that. I've developed rough
Yeah,
skin
I don't
over the
take it
years, you know?
personally.
I
I
know.
don't take it personally.
And I don't expect them to because I know that that's just not in most people's nature, but it's appreciated, and the ones that don't know you, you know, thank you.
I don't even think they realize half the time.
No, they don't.
Most of the time, they don't even.
No, they're not. They don't have that mentality.
Yeah,
they're also not. A lot of those people are from here. Most of
Yeah,
them, you know,
it's
the
a
ones
little
that are from New York and stuff like that. We all think a little different. Yeah, he's from New York too. I'm from New York.
I have a unique thing with Miami. I moved here my junior year of high school, so I went to high school my last 2 years here.
Okay,
I got a
that's different.
scholarship to a prep school, so I was with those people that grew up here, and I've known them. And I went to I grew up in New York till I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And then I went back and forth for a while, but I have the unique
Difference is that you
vision.
grew up a little
Yeah,
bit here.
I grew up here.
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right. With that being said, Evan, what's your craziest Miami story? Come on, you gotta have some good stuff.
I mean, what are we trying to get into like night? You know,
Whatever you want. It's just like wow.
I can't get into all the details, but I will say, damn, you guys got me good here. Crazy.
Alex is here to throw the curveballs.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm the
talking
curveball
about-
guy.
Super Bowl 2020.
Diddy's house. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think that was COVID.
I've been to a few of those
That was
parties.
COVID year.
I've been
Oh,
to,
so you have been to a Diddy
I've
party?
been to multiple New Year's Eve parties at Diddy's. But here's the thing: I wasn't on the I didn't go in the house. I was on the outside in this backyard.
So you left at night.
But yeah, I've
seen.
seen. I didn't see all the stuff they're talking about, but they were crazy parties. February of 2020, right before COVID, the Super
It was
Bowl was
before
in Miami.
COVID.
Right before COVID. Super
Oh, yeah,
Bowl was
COVID
here.
was March that year.
Yeah, because it hit March. You know, I'm friends with a lot of NFL guys, and we were at a party, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting there having a 2-hour conversation with Elon Musk. I mean, like,
Wow.
there's a lot of crazy nights that, whatever. We don't have to get into that. But like when you're just sitting there, you're at a party, and the next thing you know, you're sitting with probably the most interesting, most influential person in the world, and you're talking to him for 2 hours at a party. I mean, that stuff like that's pretty cool. I'm not somebody that gets like, I see famous, I don't care. I know they're humans because I've been around a lot of famous people, but I do respect their craft, right? I do respect if they're a top athlete or a top actor or world-renowned, creating.
Or Elon fucking Musk.
Yeah,
bro.
Elon Musk.
You gotta,
It's okay. You were fucking sucking Elon Musk. We get it.
You gotta respect.
Yeah.
You gotta respect people like that because look how hard it is just to do what I'm doing,
Yeah.
or what you're doing.
Yeah.
And these guys are creating things that.
Yeah.
Guy who
And
runs
just the
10
fact that he's
companies
chilling there talking
Yeah.
to you too.
He was cool. He was cool, and like I took some things from him just talking to him for a couple hours. I mean, it was
Miami be like that, though.
And then I got COVID that night. Wanna hear something
From
crazy?
Elon.
No.
Elon gave you COVID.
The crazy thing is, I got sick right after Super Bowl because we partied for a couple nights, and a friend of mine that you know, NFL guy, 350-pound guy, we were so sick for 2 weeks, and they didn't know what it was. They had no idea, so people were worried. They're like, I don't know what's going on. I lost like 25 pounds. I'm not a big guy. I was like super thin.
Wow.
I had COVID, but this was before COVID actually was out there. It was just people from all around the world were coming into Miami. So I got really sick.
We
Bro,
were
Elon
in
gave you
Tulum.
COVID, dog.
Probably.
You got COVID
I want
from
some,
Elon.
I want some stock in
A
exchange for
2-hour
COVID.
fucking
The
exchange,
guy
bro.
The guy almost killed me. Just give me some stock in SpaceX or something.
At least the vaccine
Yeah,
should have
seriously,
given you
something.
something good.
Give me some robots.
Did he look sick?
Yeah, nah.
No, he looked good.
Yeah, he was.
He was
sharp-
fine.
sharp
Everybody
as
was
a whip.
fine that year. I remember it's when everybody left.
Yeah, I got sick.
The whole Miami got sick that
Yeah,
next week.
I
It was
got-
like,
I got-
whoa, they shut it down after
I
that.
went to the doctors. My mom was like, "What the hell's wrong with
Yeah.
you?" Like, she's like, "Something going on with you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm right." She's like, "You don't have this. You don't." I'm like, "I don't know what it is, but I'm
You
sick."
got the Rona. All right. So, guys, if you're in the Wynwood area, please go to Serenity, right?
Yes.
Where else can we
Serenity
find you?
Pharmacy.
Serenity Pharmacy. It's a beautiful storefront where you can go in, get these teas, try them out. Serenity is how we say it in Spanish.
Yeah.
What's
That's how I
the
read it when I saw it. Serenity.
what's
called
the
the pharmacy.
location? Tell us the location. Tell us the
So
Instagram
it's,
handles.
yeah, it's
And the hours.
It's Northwest 23rd Street, in Wynwood. It's in a building called Wynwood Jungle. The hours we open from 11 in the morning to 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday, but we're going to start opening up in the mornings earlier because people want that replacement of coffee. We just had to build up the business first. Friday we're open from 11 to 1 a.m. Saturday to 1 a.m. and then Sunday to 12. So we're open every single day. We didn't close for Thanksgiving. We're not going to close for anything.
No, guys, if you want an alternative to your regular bar, there you go. They're open
good
late.
first date.
It's a good alternative. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the vibe. I enjoyed the drink. It was great.
And these
thank
products, I believe these are the best products in the world.
I'm feeling it.
It's an
Thank you.
everyday-
Thank you.
it's an
We're gonna
everyday
tag
thing.
you. We're gonna post you. We're gonna put the address,
Thank you.
and you're good to go,
No,
man,
I
bro. Thank
appreciate
you for
it.
coming by.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you.